Hello, and I am Rachel, shamanic energy worker and transformational coach. And the video that I'm sharing with you today is for our monthly review around vulnerability and authenticity. So we set vulnerability and authenticity as the theme for the month of March. So finding your authenticity. And as I've said before, our relationships are based all around communication. What we communicate, how we communicate, and what we hold back from communicating to others. So are you holding back? So in this month, I invited you to find your authenticity, and I invited you to do that first step in creating your authenticity in your own relationship with yourself. And think about what you are saying to yourself and how you express yourself to others through your true feelings. And I encouraged you to strive towards authenticity in your communication, and that then would have in turn opened up your vulnerability, but then this would also have helped you to deepen your relationships. And if that may have filled you with horror at the beginning, it was certainly a challenge that you needed to do and something that you needed to work on. So authenticity and vulnerability go hand in hand. To express your ideas and your needs honestly, you have to expose yourself, which in turn then carries the risk of getting hurt. And in Brené Brown's words, vulnerability takes courage. Vulnerability is something that's very gentle and yet very strong at the same time. And it is a gift to have people in life that draw out your vulnerability. And the reason why so many people struggle with vulnerability is because they have tried opening up in the past but were shut down. And any given relationship that needs to feel safe, have a safe space first, before we can allow ourselves to be vulnerable and allow that to take place. So what I talked about as well was around setting boundaries and addressing the boundaries that you have with other people. And before we then go on to reviewing the month, let's think about being authentically you and presenting yourself as you are. So I wonder, have you managed to do that this past month? And in doing that, the effects were that this would make you feel alive. This would make you feel alive and fully present. So did you allow yourself to be vulnerable this past month? And did you allow your emotions to surface? And did you allow yourself to process those emotions instead of letting them pile up literally, internally, without processing them? And often, as we know, when people who don't process their emotions, they shut down, they become depressed, and your emotions matter and they are real. So connect with them. So what I have noticed from my own experience and through coaching others is that people report having relationships in their life where they cannot speak their mind, or they just can't be themselves. You know, how many times have you found yourself there? I used to find myself there a lot, but not anymore. And this can really hurt that person in the long run. These relationships can be with a friend, a relative, or a significant other. And the common theme is that the communication seems very one-sided, and the other person just tolerates what the other one is communicating without being able to provide honest feedback. And over time, the person who is not able to communicate their thoughts and feelings then becomes sad, then becomes depressed, then becomes anxious. And about that whole situation, that whole relationship. And then they try to look for a way out. And it becomes very difficult to change unhealthy communication patterns that have lasted for many years. Well, I invited you in this month of March to take very small steps with me of tiny love challenges every day, focusing on authenticity and vulnerability. which then would have deepened the love for yourself, deepened the love for others, and for the world around you. We are all looking for more in our lives, and these tiny challenges, these tiny steps, they would have helped you to develop closer bonds in relationships, and also to help you let go of anger and bitterness. Learning how to better understand yourself and your loved ones, along with turning strangers into friends. And opening yourself up and asking for love can feel incredibly scary. But when you come from a place of self-love, knowing that you deserve what you are asking for, a hug can be a transformative exchange of two souls. You will both be at your most open and vulnerable, and yet so strong. So the month of March now comes to an end. We are now the last day of March, and I shared with you those series of daily little love challenges with an opportunity for reflection and learnings. And I hope you enjoyed the growth and transformation that they brought. So let's get down to the review. So you can review these following questions I'm going to pose to you. You can do that either by just sitting with them, or you can journal them. And this will be a video that's shared on my social media, so you can come back to it at another time. So here we go. Here's my questions for you. What challenges were the most helpful to you, and why? What challenges were the most helpful to you, and why? So just take a moment to feel into that, and just allow whatever the first thing that comes to mind. Just allow yourself to accept it without any judgment and without any story. And now, what challenges were the most difficult for you, and why? Again, just allow yourself to sit with that without any judgment, without getting into any story, just accepting the first things that come to mind. And now, what did you learn about yourself through the process of completing these tiny challenges each day? What did you learn about yourself? And again, just sit with that. No judgment, no stories, no attachment. Just allow what comes up. And now, did you form any new insights about being authentic and vulnerable? Did you form any new insights about being authentic and vulnerable? And just allow whatever's coming to come up. And now, what did you learn about the people in your life? What did you learn about the people in your life? And did these challenges strengthen your relationships? And if so, how? Because there's some good learnings in that. If we know, did these challenges strengthen your relationships, and how? It means that you can do it again. You know how to strengthen your relationships. And then finally, did you identify any areas for improvement and growth? Always a good one. We can always do more. We can always be more. There's always areas to improve, and there's always areas for growth. This life is an evolution. So I invite you to drop your comments and share your experiences with me. So I'd love to hear from you. So you can either do that by dropping me a message, or you can post some comments here in this post. And I know just how difficult it is to make changes, or even consider making changes, when you're feeling anxious, depressed, burnt out, exhausted, because that was me. And this is where I can help you with my one-to-one coaching, and I help men and women awaken their limitless high potential, igniting their powerhouse so that they can move forward with divine soul-driven purpose. I help men and women replace fear with faith, replace weakness with strength, and replace internal struggle with confidence, to effectively claim their life back in just 3 months, so that they can be more, they can do more, and they can have more, fully embodying their inner warrior or warrioress to break through all that's holding them back. So are you ready to take your first step towards a happier, healthier, and fulfilled and more conscious life? Well, if you would like to, then you can contact me and we can arrange a call just to see what's going on with you and if I'm able to help. So I would like to invite you to do that. And then tomorrow we will start our new challenge for the month of April. So look out for that in the morning. And join me again for some daily little tiny love challenges that will help you in this life. So until then, Pura Vida Your Life. It all starts with you. So Pura Vida,